This happened a few winters ago. I had just finalized my divorce, 6 months prior. And, to put it mildly, I was desperate for an escape. Christina, my girlfriend then, suggested a retreat, a quiet haven far from the chaos that had consumed me. We found a rental on a desolate lake in upstate New York, and I booked it for a week without a second thought. The house was perfect, modern yet cloaked in an eerie coziness, perched on the lake's edge, surrounded by skeletal woods. Only a few scattered properties dotted the shoreline, most abandoned, lifeless. It wasn't peak season, and I relished the isolation, craving distance from the world. The host wouldn't be there. His instructions were meticulous. Where to find the keys, details about the house, standard Airbnb fare. We arrived in the morning, and on the front step sat a small, unmarked package. No return address. Just a handwritten note. Enjoy your stay. Make sure to stay warm. Charming, in a strange way. Inside, a tiny box of matches. A peculiar welcome gift, we thought. Odd, but harmless. Christina laughed, joking about the quirks of upstate folk, and we let it fade. The next 2 days were a dream. Long hikes through the snow's ghostly shroud. Hot drinks by a flickering fireplace. Silence so deep it felt alive. Snow had fallen steadily since we arrived. Not a blizzard, but a relentless veil, softening the world into something untouched. Otherworldly. The house's layout haunts me still. The master bedroom where we slept loomed on the second floor. Massive windows stretched across from the bed, staring out over the frozen lake. The roof, or perhaps the windows, whispered with every snowflake's patter, a soft, relentless murmur. A skylight above bathed us in the glow of a sky choked with snow. Then, after midnight on the third night, I jolted awake. A sound, faint, buried under the wind's howl and the snow's hiss, pricked my senses. The storm had worsened, the snowfall now a blinding fury, the world outside a swirling abyss. I focused on the noise. Mechanical, man-made, an intrusion against the wilderness's natural chorus. Slipping from bed, I crept to the window, careful not to stir Christina. Peering out, I saw it. A snowmobile creeping across the ice, its shape dim in the storm. People ride them on frozen lakes, sure. But at this hour, in this tempest? It unnerved me. The driver moved slowly, cautiously as if testing the ice's resolve. Then they stopped. A figure climbed off, waving frantically, arms flailing in distress, shouting, though the words drowned in the wind. My stomach twisted. They faced our house. Did they know we were here? Impossible. Yet they needed help. I woke Christina, explained in a hushed panic, dressed and descended to the deck. The cold bit through my layers as I stepped outside. Then I heard her, a woman's voice, raw and desperate, crying, "Thank God someone's there." She screamed she'd lost her little boy in the storm, her sobs teetering on madness. A child alone in that weather wouldn't survive. I laced my boots, told Christina to stay put, and trudged toward the lake. The ice held firm. No chance of breaking. Relief flickered as I neared her. She was bundled in a thick fur coat, her hair a tight braid, her features sharpening in the dim light. She said her boy had run away, that she was searching. I faltered. Run away? Not fallen from the snowmobile? How could she not notice a child slip off? Doubt gnawed at me, but before I could press her, she spoke again, her voice ablade. "Did you still get those matches?" A smile flickered, sinister, fleeting. The matches, the package, not from the host, from her. My blood froze. In an instant, she drew a gun from her coat, her demand icy, my wallet, my phone. I complied. 30 seconds of terror. She mounted the snowmobile and vanished into the white void. I ran, slipping on the ice, screaming for Christina to call the police. She already had. We locked the doors, my heart hammering as I scanned the storm, expecting her return. The cops arrived an hour later, but the snow had swallowed her tracks. They found an old boat ramp across the lake, her likely entry, but nothing else. My phone was offline, useless. The host refunded us, swearing ignorance of any package, yet I couldn't shake it. How did she know we'd be there? Why the elaborate ruse for a petty theft? I suspected the host, even my ex-wife, her laughter haunting my paranoia. No proof. Just a lingering dread that someone, somewhere, had watched us, toyed with us, for reasons I'll never grasp. This happened a year ago at my family's Northern California lake house. A 2-story relic with an attic, shadowed by memories. As kids, my sister and I camped up there, sleeping bags sprawled beneath a tiny window overlooking the lake. We'd watch the water, giggling, our puppy scrambling beside us. Those days ended as we outgrew the space, a quiet sorrow marking childhood's close. When our grandparents died, their furniture, cherished fragments of their lives, filled the attic. It felt like they lingered, watching over us in silence. Life pulled us away. Studies, work, family trips dwindled to a rare week. My parents refused to rent it out, fearing thieves or damage to their antiques. The house stood empty most of the year, tended only by landscapers. Then they met him, an elderly veteran, now an antique restorer. Small, disfigured, with white hair and a greasy beard, his gravelly voice unsettled us. My dad, bonded by military respect, leased it to him for a year, insisting he deserved it. We bristled, our summer haven gone, but college costs silenced our protests. They checked on him through landscapers, subtle probes for peace of mind. He seemed fine, until the workers whispered of his behavior, staring at children by the lake from the porch, his gaze predatory, unsettling acts I won't name. My mom, furious, hounded my dad until the lease ended. Dad softened the eviction, lying about renovations. The man left without fuss. Aided by landscapers, we paid to hurry him out. Relief settled. His strange presence gone. A year later, my sister graduated college. We seized a summer trip, bringing Bear, our new black lab mix. Arriving at dusk, we left Bear inside to grab dinner in town. He paced, ears alert, restless. I dismissed it as travel nerves. We returned to a house that felt wrong. Bear lay at the stairs' base, blood pooling beneath him, panting. My sister screamed. Mom dialed 911. Dad grabbed a knife. I followed. We searched, dread coiling tighter. Upstairs, Dad froze. The attic hatch hung ajar, a flashlight's gleam spilling down. Fear paralyzed me, but Dad climbed without hesitation. Silence followed. No struggle. He descended, whispering it was the old tenant. Mom stormed up, shrieking when she learned. Dad pitied him. Mom demanded justice. Police hauled him down. Frail, broken, a house key on him. Dad had lied about changing the locks. Bear survived, barely. Dad refused charges, sparking a rift with Mom I never fathomed. We haven't returned. That house, once a sanctuary, now festers in my mind, tainted by blood and betrayal. Last summer I was 20. My name's Kevin. My friend James, born to wealth, his dad an IP lawyer for the government, owned properties worldwide. One sat on a secluded lake, not vast, but ringed by grand, empty homes. James had free reign, his parents absent and often hosted wild parties, neighbors too distant to care. That night was different. Just us, beers on the dock, me nursing a breakup sting. A light flickered across the lake, sharp, deliberate. Not a reflection, but a signal. 3 short flashes, 3 long, 3 short. James recognized it. Morse code, SOS. I scoffed, but he was right. It pulsed, then died. A prank? Or peril? James urged calling the cops, but we'd been drinking, underage, me dodging a DUI. We opted for adventure instead, grabbing switchblades from his brother's stash, a kayak from the yard. The lake swallowed sound as we paddled, the thrill souring to dread. Darkness deepened, broken only by faint house lights. The target loomed, large, decayed, its dock half sunk, the flashing had stopped. We beached the kayak, adrenaline surging. James faltered, but I pressed on. We braved abandoned places before. Through an unlocked window, we slipped into a house stripped bare. No furniture, no life, just echoing void. Upstairs, in the room where the light had danced, sat a lone projector, aimed at the window. A trap. James bolted. I followed. Footsteps thundered behind, a closet door slamming open, pursuit closing in. We leapt through the window, raced to the lake's edge. The kayak, gone. A figure charged, big, fast, faceless in the gloom. I drew my blade. James dove into the freezing water. I plunged after, swimming toward his house's distant glow, limbs burning. We reached the dock, half dead from cold, locked ourselves in, and called the police. They found nothing. No one. No traces. Just an abandoned husk. They scolded us. James's parents raged, banning me. Theories linger, a trap abandoned at the last second. But who? Why? The lake holds its secrets, and I dread what might have been had we stayed.